All right, there, welcome back. So, in this lesson, I'm going to be walking you through 10 ways to know when you are being misinformed about your hair because trust me, I know the struggle. All right, so as usual, like in the previous module, I'm going to be recommending some resources that I created, just to help you to continue to learn more about your natural hair. Okay, so the first way will be when a hair tip sounds overly complicated, right? A complicated hair routine. Now, uh, there's nothing wrong, with trying out different hair tips, trying out different techniques, different methods, to see what works. But if the hair routine sounds complicated, then that means, that's not it because our natural hair does not have to be complicated, right? It's actually quite simple if you make it to be simple. All right, so the second way will be if the particular hair tip does not necessarily address your hair needs. So, for example, right now you are struggling with dry hair, right? And then you go online and then you look for a tip that looks like it's supposed to help you with dry hair, but then the blog or vlog, a video or whatever it is giving you a tip about hair products or about how to grow your hair, how to style your hair, like something that doesn't necessarily address your hair needs. So that's why I dedicated a whole module to finding out why you have, constantly dry hair, right? So make sure you check out that module. All right. So the third way will be when, the products that they recommend conflict with your so when it conflicts with your hair product. So if the whatever place you are reading the hair tip from offers a conflicting product recommendation, right? Because again, remember, sometimes one of the reasons why you are constantly struggling with dry hair could be because maybe the products you're using are just not working well with each other, right? And like, if you know that already, then there's no need to try that tip. You can just try something else. All right, so the fourth way will be when a hair tip leaves you more confused. So I've personally read some tips that just made me scratch my hair. Like, what is going on here? Like, am I supposed to use this hair tip on myself or on somebody else? Or sometimes, for example, right? A lot of naturals are interested in DIY products, right? DIY products, making up their own, their own conditioner and whatever. And I've actually read somewhere where somebody gave a recipe for a smoothie, right? And then I was thinking, okay, maybe they're supposed to mix it up and put it on their hair, but then the recipe sounded so good and delicious, and I thought, okay. And then I had to ask the person who posted it, like, okay, am I supposed to put this on my hair or am I supposed to drink it? And then she came back and said, okay, I'm supposed to drink it. And I thought, wow, like most ladies would have probably read that tip and mix up that ingredient and put it in their hair, right? So always be careful whenever you read hair tip. If it's a little bit confusing, make sure you ask for more clarification. Okay, so the fifth way, again, it relates to the previous tip. So if it sounds weird, it defies logic, and it's just impractical, right? So that goes to show you that, okay, maybe that's not something you should be doing. And again, being in the natural hair community for so long, I've seen so many hair tips, so many hair techniques, so many hair fad pretty much come in and go, right? Because they are just not practical, right? Like, maybe for a short while, a bunch of people will try them, and then that's it, right? Nobody tries them because it's just impractical, right? But then again, if you have the time on your hands and you like experiment with different things, it doesn't hurt to try out, different hair tips. All right, so the sixth way would be if the health tip only promises a short-term result, right? So it's not something that you can actually replicate or something that will last you for quite some time. So whenever you read a hair tip, and if it seems like something that's short term, because again, remember, your hair doesn't have to be time consuming, doesn't have to be complicated. Because I think the reason why a lot of ladies, they don't want to go natural, or when they do go natural, they end up going back to the relaxer, or they just end up wearing wigs and extensions and everything, is because they think their hair takes up so much time, right? But it really doesn't have to if you know what you're supposed to do to your hair. All right, so the seventh way will be if a tip cannot be replicated, right? Because I've tried some hair tips where they work nice, and then the next time I go back to try them, and it's a right. So yeah, so some hair tip. So if you read a hair tip and it seems like okay, so this hair tip is only gonna work on this maybe type of hair texture, or a part or a certain type of environment or whatnot. I mean, again, it doesn't hurt to try it, right? But if it's something that's not gonna be replicated, then maybe go check out another hair tip as well. All right, so the eighth tip would be if the results are not guaranteed. Now, the only way obviously that you're gonna find out will be to try it yourself, right? To try it yourself and see if it's gonna work. Because I've tried out popular hair tips. I mean, popular hair tips. I try them over and over and over again, and they don't work. So maybe it's just my hair or the environment, right? But for some people, I mean, they can swear by it, right? So if the results are not guaranteed, I mean, maybe it's not worth investing your time. But if you do have the time and you're looking for something fun, something different to try or to use on your hair, then I mean, go ahead. All right. So number nine will be if that particular hair tip interferes with the health of your cuticles. Because again, remember, the arrangement of your cuticle layers are so important, right? Because if they are not arranged properly, that's when your porosity level will go up, and that's when you're going to start struggling with moisture retention and with dry hair, right? So you want to make sure that whatever hair tip you use, whatever hair products, whatever hair technique, whatever hair tools, whatnot, that you know, they're not going to disturb the health of your hair, particularly your hair cuticles. All right, so number 10, the last one would be if it conflicts with what you already know to be true, right? So again, like I was saying, sometimes I will read a hair tip and I go, what? Like that doesn't even make any sense, right? For example, right? One hair tip, popular hair tip that was popular at one point is when some ladies will condition their hair first, and then they will shampoo, and then they will just rinse out the shampoo and then put leave-in conditioner, and then style the hair. And for some reason, according to them, that works better than the other way, right? But again, that for me it just doesn't make sense, because it's almost like putting on lotion on your skin, and then you jump in the shower, and then you shampoo everything out, and then you get dressed and you go out, right? It doesn't even make any sense. But again, I mean, if you're looking for something fun, something new to try, I mean, you can always try different tips. All right. So so here's the thing, right? There are lots of information online, like we know, and right now there are so many more, and new hair tip, new hair blogs, hair videos, Instagram pages, Pinterest, everything all over the place, right? And that's why it is so crucial to have a general understanding about your hair, because then once you have a general understanding about your hair, especially black hair science, then it becomes very easy to sift through information online, right? Because again, remember, the natural hair does not have to be complicated. It can be as easy as you make it to be. All right, so how can you determine if a particular information is right for your hair, and how do you choose the right hair info? So by now, right, you've already gone through 5 modules of this course, and one module was all about black hair science, the other module was about hair typing, the other module was about the 20 different reasons why you have dry hair and what to do about them, right? So at least now you have a thorough understanding about your hair, and you also learned about hair products as well, right? So now you should be able to know what's the right hair information and what's a wrong hair information, right? Very basic. All right, so now back to you before we wrap up this lesson. All right, so let me know in the comment section below, what are the ways have you been misinformed about your natural hair? I would love to hear all about it in the comment section below.